3, 2, 1.
Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular, mystery reading number 1122. My name is Elizabeth, and before getting into this reading, if you are a recurring viewer, you enjoy my work, and you would like to help support it, feel free to do so by sticking around and hitting that subscribe button down below, and ringing the notification bell next to it if you feel called to. And if you do feel called to subscribe and stick around, welcome. And thank you very much for your support in helping me reach 300 subscribers. And thank you as well for your presence during this reading. So, I've been saying it a lot in readings lately, and this could just be further confirmation for somebody who has been following along lately, but the number 1 could be significant for you. It doesn't have to be, but if it is, I encourage you to pay attention to what this number really means to you. Maybe there's even something here about adding up these ones, getting to the number 3. For me, the number 1 is about having trust and faith in yourself, and a newer interpretation is also having trust and faith in the universe. I believe that if we have more trust in the universe, more faith in it, it's a lot easier to feel these things for ourselves, and vice versa. When we trust ourselves more and have faith in ourselves more, somehow it seems like we tend to also trust and believe in the universe more. There's just these general ideas or themes of trust and faith, which is really making me think of the root chakra. And this chakra does make me think of ancestors. There could definitely be loved ones coming through for somebody to encourage you to learn how to trust yourself, to believe in yourself, to trust and believe in the universe, because they want you to feel stable and secure and safe. I feel like they want you to have the confidence that you need to nurture and protect yourself, as well as those around you, your environment, the earth, etc. And this has nothing to do with gender. Nurturing is not about women. Protection is not just about men. Because vice versa, men and women are both capable of the same thing. And I actually think that all of us, regardless of gender, are supposed to have these qualities in a world built on truth, where both men and women nurture and protect. It really does feel like there's something here about being present for other people. I guess in the name of unity, no matter who these people are, their age, their nationality, at the end of the day, we're all human. And we don't have to be divided by race and gender and all of these other things because we see our other animal friends be that way. Like, when you look at it from like a biological perspective, we're allowed to be unique as humans. Nobody or nothing says that we have to do this or that. In fact, my understanding is that the reason why it was the way it was, where men are the protectors and women are, take care of the children, everyone else under the sun. But That comment might have been a little bit biased, but my understanding is that the reason why things came to be that way is because of owning private property. And logically, it would make sense for men to be fighters and not women, but in a general sense, because women can be stronger than men. You know, it's just very, very extremely outdated thinking. And I think it's long overdue for people to think differently, because nowadays, you don't need a man to protect your property. You really don't. And you know, what land is there to fight over anymore? Sure, maybe land that people already own. But I hope that makes sense. Moving into interpreting the number 1122, there are two ones, and we just talked a lot about what the number one means. Having trust and faith in yourself and the universe, or whatever higher power you believe in. And there are two twos. And the number two can be confirmation of a significant relationship or situation that comes to mind while you are watching this reading. It can be confirmation or guidance for you to walk away from someone or something, to create more peace within yourself, and to be very wise about your choices and who and what you choose to invest in and grow, what you choose to nurture. It can be a call or confirmation for you to invest in and grow relationships and situations that genuinely mean the most to you, that align with who you truly are, and allow you to be honest and authentic. While self-love is a big important part about being authentic, it's also a very important part, in my opinion, to creating a more peaceful world. Because as I've been saying, a foundation built on a lie can change, the narrative can change, but a foundation built on truth, you can't change what is. So, as human beings who are here to survive, at least in part, we're also here to thrive in my opinion, but at the very least to survive, seeking stability and security, truth, building a world on truth seems like a natural result of just trying to survive as a human being. It feels very, I want to say like instinctual, or I guess primal in a way. I feel like it really taps into the more animalistic side of ourselves. I mean, you see how people fight over exposing the truth or protecting a lie. It makes sense to me to be more of a human thing. And I am hearing a siren outside. When I hear sirens in a reading, it's usually a sign to pay attention. So maybe there's something here about paying attention to yourself and others in terms of our human nature, our nature. Maybe there's something here you need to accept about humanity, or that you need to realize. But this is confirmation to reflect on that. Our nature as humans. Maybe there's something here in the world, in your own life, that you're frustrated about, and it's important for you to understand that product of the past, you know? It feels like all you can really do is just keep fighting for better, as we have been doing for generations. I suppose as humans, we never could have controlled where we started, and so the way things have unraveled for thousands of years is just a natural consequence. you know? Adding up these numbers, 1 plus 1 is 2, plus 2 is 4, plus another 2 is 6. Speaking of self-love, this number 6 to me is encouragement. It's a message or confirmation or a sign about being encouraged to choose self-love and self-care over self-hate and self-destruction, not only because you deserve it as a human being, but because we all deserve it collectively as humanity as a whole. Self-love and self-care is not some fickle thing. I think it's actually very, very essential to building a world on truth, and ultimately a world that is truly stable and secure and more beautiful, as I said in a reading recently, more beautiful than it already is. We have the power and the potential to create more beauty in this world, and I believe that it really does start with recognizing and embracing the beauty that exists within us. And regardless of gender, like I've already been talking about, the beauty is not exclusive to women. Overall, with this number 1122, especially with the number 111, big messages here around having trust and faith in yourself and the universe, and being wise about your choices, protecting your peace, especially if there's a specific relationship or situation on your mind. Moving forward, always make choices that honor and respect the love and the care that you deserve to have for yourself and ultimately for humanity. Just give me 1 minute. Let me make sure I put this on. Okay, I did. I wanted to make sure I put my phone on Do Not Disturb because I don't want any distractions. Maybe that could be a sign or confirmation for you that maybe it would be helpful to maybe figuratively or literally put up a Do Not Disturb sign and, get rid of distractions, especially if there's something here that you really want to reflect on. I personally love listening to meditation music in headphones because it really just, for me, it feels like it transports me into a world that really allows me to connect with my soul. Maybe it could help you in that way too. But there are 2 decks of cards on the table. This is the Magical Dogs Tarot. This is the Ancestor Spirit Oracle. I'm going to start this reading off by drawing out a couple of these Magical Dogs Tarot cards to hopefully get more specific detail about these messages that came from the number 1122 or something else. So the first card that I have is the Sun in reverse. I think I kind of want to go ahead and draw the other one. I feel called to do that. I don't normally do that. This time I do feel like I want to do that. Goodness, which one are we taking? Okay, this one. And we have the Page of Cups. And I just saw the number 444 on the timer. The number 4 is connected to stability and ancestors. Actually, I don't normally do this either, but I also want to go ahead and draw one of these Ancestor Spirit Oracle cards. Definitely doing things a little bit differently today. Maybe you personally feel like you want to switch things up a little bit, especially if you feel guided or called in a spiritual way to do so. We have explore your creative side And at the bottom it says visualize, paint, and record. Let me set these cards down and get a drink of water. I just saw a sign about trusting that verse. Now, this card is a major arcana card, so I'm not going to take it lightly. This Page of Cups card is a minor arcana card. It's more like a detail to the Sun card. But the Sun upright is all about awareness and positivity, light. And in reverse, it feels like it can be about ignorance, darkness, and being unconscious. So it makes me think that there's something you're not seeing, something positive. And this could be something specific, or it could just be your general outlook on life. Especially since this is a major arcana card, you may generally have a pessimistic outlook on life, and that's okay. But I really discourage you from staying there. Because you deserve to have more light in your life, and I believe that that's going to start with recognizing and honoring and embracing the light that already has the potential, or already does exist within you. Really, where could you have more faith? Is there something that you really could benefit from learning, becoming more aware of, waking up to? It feels like it to me. The Sun card has the number 19 on it. 1 plus 9 is 10. I have 2 messages for this number 10. The first one is about the number 10 itself. It is about the presence of your spirit guides, them encouraging you to recognize that they are here for you, they are present, and they're always ready and willing to connect with you whenever you're ready. I feel like if you have never prayed before, the idea of talking to the universe feels weird, or it's like, how do I do this? And if you feel that way, and you want to learn how to communicate spiritually, I really, really encourage you to look at how to do that. The other message is specifically from your spirit guides, encouraging you to trust and have faith in yourself. And I want to say, they would say have trust and faith in them too, but it's like, it's hard to describe how I'm feeling. Like, let's say, for example, there's a lie about this company and the company is saying they're not lying, you know? So trust and have faith in them whenever you feel ready, but most importantly, I feel like they want you to have trust and faith in yourself. It does feel like there is potential here for a massive spiritual awakening, or, you know, many spiritual awakenings, no matter how big they are. It really just depends on how long you walk the path or the journey of seeking truth, awareness, more light in the world and into your own life. Moving on to the Page of Cups over here. There's really something here about the inner child, especially the more creative, expressive side of your younger self. Where has he or she gone? There could absolutely be something from childhood that felt like it robbed you of the light in your life, the light that you used to see in the world. And I feel like one of the most healing things you could do for yourself right now is connect with your younger self. I'm thinking about, like, if you think back to when you were younger, when you still had faith and hope and trust, what would that version of yourself tell you right now? I'm doubtful they'd be judgmental. Possibly maybe a little disappointed, but overall very loving and understanding and wanting to help you see the light. Maybe there are children in your life that could help you with that too. That can help you connect with yourself when you were a child yourself. I'm really getting this feeling of like a dreamer vibe. And like how someone just feels really, for lack of a better way to say it, just like really broken when it comes to having faith and trust. And that's why I think, ancestors are so important for you to connect with right now, and I just saw a sign to trust that everything happens for a reason. Yeah. Things certainly do happen for a reason, and, sometimes the universe isn't ready to show us. We haven't discovered what things mean for us, or we just will never know. But in the way that things align, when you look at things a certain way, you can just tell. If you do feel curious about the spiritual things, of course, as a reader, I would encourage you to let yourself be curious. Let your younger self be curious about these things. Let your younger self be seen and heard again. I feel like that's a really, really good message here. This Ancestor Spirit Oracle card aligns very well with the creative, expressive side. Well, the creative, expressive page of Cups. It really just feels like there's a call here for you to express yourself in whatever way works for you, in whatever way your inner child needs right now. Is your inner child kicking and screaming about something? Or do they just feel depleted? Yeah. Big message here really feels like it's about giving your younger self a voice. And that, to me, is such an empowering and self-loving thing to do. And whatever judgments you're concerned about connecting with your inner child, feels like it's just noise and a distraction. If you truly feel called to connect with your younger self, to heal something that you feel like was, that has been broken for a long time, or that was stolen from you, do what you need to do to fix, or to, give yourself what was lost, and then some. Do what you need to do to let your inner child, your younger self, be seen and heard, either again or just in general. And if you want to be seen and heard by others, that first starts with hearing and seeing yourself, including your inner child. Like I said, that's a very powerful, very deeply self-loving thing to do, and it is something that I believe you and all of us deserve. To remember who we were before the pain and the trauma and being subject to relationships and circumstances that we never deserved.